morning. You guys can quiet down for a little bit. First up, we're really happy to see everybody here. And we're both happy to see everybody here. It's sad that it's not the usual way our banquet goes, where we have 300 people here and everybody's parents and everything. So that's a little rough, but hopefully this time next year we'll be all 50 again for a normal, regular banquet, having just had a normal regular season. But this has certainly been an interesting year that we've had a lot of success in. I know for myself, I think for the rest of the coaching staff. I'd like to thank for sure everybody's parents. This has been a work in progress, trying to get everybody in and out of the pool safely and keep up with our season as best we could under these circumstances. Also like to thank the Homework School District and for being really, really cooperative and helpful with us to get started. We got started with this back in June when there were not a lot of teams in the country that weren't able to swim. We still have a lot of teams that aren't able to swim yet because of COVID restrictions and things. For us, for Brookville, Homework School District, Homework Swim Club, Wisconsin Swimming, been really helpful to get this done. So a lot of thank yous there. Just going to turn it over to the coaches to go through and talk about kids and a little bit about each kid. I'm going to try to keep it fairly short because otherwise we get way out of hand. 5 times or so, we're going to take breaks to do raffle off something. So keep an eye. I don't know how we're doing that. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, so they have it. All right. Cool. All right. So that's we do. So anyway, without any further my talking, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Where do we want to
We're trying to find out here a little bit. We were totally 100% here. So,
do we want the kids to be on camera for their parents? Yeah, they'll come up. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, you can call up. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Alright, so I have the following people come up to the front, stay spaced out, okay, and bring your mask, please. We need Lori, Asia, Cecilia, Emily, Bruce, Tim, and Abigail. So if you're ready to come on up. Do the first group, don't be nervous. Okay, so I'm going to talk about Rory. And Rory is an all-around swimmer. She is very fun to have at practice. She's getting along with others. She has a really great swim this year. And she was a big part of our state team, too. She had lots of swims at the state team. And she did really, really well there as well. Next season, I'm really looking forward to seeing Rory be more of a leader next season and kind of take over the head of the lane this season. So, great job this season, Rory, and I'm going to pass it up to Carissa and Erica.
We can clap for everybody at the end of all class.
Okay, so I have to talk about Keisha. Keisha, he is a very energetic boy who loves to race. He's also a great lane leader, and he gives everything with every single step that we do in practice. So that's super awesome to see. He had fantastic races this season, and unfortunately, he did miss his state cut in his 50 butterfly by 0.15 seconds. He was so close, and I feel that because when I was a swimmer, I missed my 50 freestyle national cut by 0.05 seconds. But the difference between me and K-Shop is I was a senior when that happened. So I know it's the end of the road for me. K-Shop is only 8, and there's no doubt in my mind, because he is on the onset of his swimming career, that he will get not only 1 or 2, but he's gonna have multiple state cuts in these nations. Good job, good job.
Hold your applause.
All right, everyone. So I'm first going to talk about Cece. Cece was new to the team this year, and she really had a lot of great growth. She is super sweet and works hard every day at practice. Is always trying to find different ways to get better. So it was super exciting to watch her grow this season and be a part of our team. So great job, Cece. My next, you're gonna listen to me talk about like 6 kids in a row. Just big career. My next friend I'm gonna talk about is Emily Bruce. Emily Bruce, she has such amazing energy. She's super delightful every day at practice. She comes in and is like, hey, how's your day? Happy Monday. I had a great day. Did you have a great day? She just brings such amazing energy to the practice. And again, she's another one who's always looking to get better, wondering how she can improve her times, how she can improve her strokes, and how she can get herself to the next level. So I enjoy Emily's energy every day at practice, but I also love her drive to get better. Next person I'm going to talk about is Tim. Tim is one of our youngest kids in the group, but I would say he's one of our strongest leaders. He's got great skills, great techniques, and he loves to race. He's had such great improvement across seasons, and it's really, I'm just so excited to see where he's going to be able to go, because I really kind of feel like sky's the limit for Tim. So we really enjoy having him in our group. And then lastly, I'm going to talk about Abigail. Abigail this season for Abigail, I feel like was really all about overcoming her fears to make herself a better swimmer. She finally got down her dive off the blocks, and it just opened so many doors for her. So I'm so proud of her for everything she's overcome and how hard she has worked this season to make herself a better swimmer. So I'm super proud of her. Are we taking a break now?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll do a raffle.
We gotta go super.
Oh, we have to go super, sorry, we have to go super.
So we should go 5 minutes.
Okay, 5 more, all right. Coach Rose says 5 more. Here we go. I need Brooklyn. I need Evelyn. I need Griffin. I need Leah, and I need Nora. So make sure we have the right one. Brooklyn, Evelyn, Griffin, Leah, and Nora. Come on. Okay. All right, I'm gonna talk about Miss Brooklyn. And Brooklyn was mainly a butterflyer. She always says that she would rather swim butterfly than freestyle. One day at practice, she asked me, can I just swim the whole practice butterfly? I said, probably not, but maybe one day. She's a really hard worker. She's super consistent, and everything she does at practice really pays off. And this year at state, she actually podiumed for 6th place at state for the 100 butterfly this year. So that was really super exciting. It was really super exciting to see all of her hard work pay off at our state meet this year. I'm going to miss her in my AG group, but she's going to head up to AG1 with Coach Rose next year. So that is Brooklyn. And now it's Chris's turn. Hi, I'm talking about Abby McWay. Abby had her first season on Albrook this year, and she has grown so much. It's been awesome to see all of her strokes, her practice endurance, and even like body position in each of the strokes has greatly improved. She has
really come on to doing breaststroking freestyle, and I'm really looking forward to seeing getting her better at backstroking butterfly as she progresses through the swim club. Congratulations, Emmy.
All right, back again. Okay, so I'm first going to talk about Griffin. Griffin was on the team for a few seasons and then took the summer off and then came back for this fall and winter season, and we were so excited to see him back. It was great that to have him come back to the club, and he jumped in like he hadn't missed a day. He worked so hard at practice and was always looking for ways to get better, always wanting to race the person next to him, and I truly missed his energy, and I truly missed his leadership in the lane while he was gone, so it was super exciting to have him back, and we're super excited to see him continue on at Elbrook for further seasons, so great job this season, Griffin. My next friend I'm going to talk about is Leah. Leah, I don't know if I can say enough about Leah's improvement as a swimmer this year. She really was always coming to me asking how she could change her technique, trying to make a plan for her race, wanting to be the best swimmer she could be, and I think in many ways it paid off. She was one of our 6 swimmers that qualified for the A+ meet. She had multiple events at the A+ meet, and I think she even surprised herself with how much time she dropped and how much she grew this season. I'm really looking forward to her growing as a leader this next swim season and just seeing what else she can do. Last but not least from this group is Nora. Nora has an amazing energy at practice. She is another one of my friends, always coming in with a smile on her face, always excited to swim, always wondering, what lane am I going to be in? What are we doing today? Just so excited and so happy to be there, and that energy of hers is contagious. People want to be around her, they want to be in her lane because of the energy she brings to practice each day. She has only swam, this is her 2nd season with us, and she has made huge improvements in her freestyle and backstroke. Watching her try float turns at swim meets, watching her times drop significantly. She's truly made great improvements across 2 seasons, and I'm super proud to see all of her improvements and to see what she does next. So great job, Nora. Okay, now we can do a raffle. Our first winner is Amelia. So you can go up and get your prize for the raffle. And she won a backpack that Elmore donated. So backpack. Congratulations. Okay. That's 5. Sarah Johnson, who's not here, but we're going to talk about her anyway. Chase Miller, Madeline, Aiden Patterson, and Miles Christensen. Hey, come on up. It's Tascon. Who are we going to sing? Adeline here, Adeline. Addie, Addie. Sorry. Okay, so I'm going to talk about Sarah Johnson. I know she's not up in front, but she's here this year. She is an all-around swimmer, super funny. Girl keeps me on my toes all the time. And one thing that she does is she likes to swim in the middle of the lane. So I'm always scared that she's gonna just like knock someone's block off as she's going through. But that's how it kind of shows you how kind of aggressive she is in the water, which really paid off during state meet this year. She actually also podiumed at state and got 6th place in the 500 freestyle this year. So that was really exciting to see. She's another one that's moving up to Coach Rose's group. So I'm Mr. AG2, but I'll see her from that and now. So that is Sarah Johnson. And now I'm going to turn it over to Eric.
Yeah, Erica's one.
Eric.
All right, so Mr. Chase, he is like a fish, y'all. Like even when we're not swimming, he's swimming. Like he's diving down into the water, coming back up. Like he just loves the water. He loves to swim. But he's still focused when we're doing the sets, which is gonna he always puts his best foot forward. He's always working hard, and his hard work did pay off. He did end up getting his 50 butterflies. They cut in a time trial, which is very exciting to watch, and he did the best three line of his life. So congratulations. Also at state, he swam the 100-yard butterfly and did phenomenal in that. I believe he also got to pick up for next year at state, so that was super cool. And he was also the member of the medley relay that placed third at state, so he got a pretty cool medal. So good season Chase, and I'm excited. He's moving up to AG next year to get more intense training and to improve as a swimmer. Good job, Chase. All right. First, I'm going to talk about Addie Kudnick. Addie, she is a joy at practice. She is constantly running up and down the pool back, bouncing up and down the lane, wondering what we're going to do next. Should I race this one? Can I take this one really fast? Should I take this one really fast? She's got more energy than probably anybody I've ever met. But I love this about her because I feel like anybody who brings that kind of energy to practice, it lifts other kids up as well. So Addie's like my little Energizer bunny, and she has made such great improvements. She is new to the club, and she is really working on getting her technique down for breaststroke and for butterfly, and she's truly come a long way this season in all of her technique across the strokes. So great job, Abby. My next friend that I'm going to talk about is Eamon. So I have coached Eamon, I think, for about 3 seasons now, and he's had such amazing growth in those 3 seasons, and not only in his technique and in his swimming, but in how he is a leader at our practices, you know, pushing himself to go at the front of the lane or to lead a set. And I have been really lucky to get to watch him grow over time. And he is headed up to AGT this next season, and I'm going to be sad to see him go, but I'm very proud of all he's accomplished. So great job, Damon. And lastly, I have Miles up here. Miles loves to race. He is always like, we'll be in the middle of a regular set, and he'll look at the kid next to him and be like, do you want to race this one? And so he's always pushing the other kids in the lanes next to him, and that is such a great quality in a swimmer to be pushing the other kids to reach their fullest potential. I think Miles has great potential in all of his strokes, and he truly had a breakout season, dropping so much time in so many events. So I'm just excited to see where Miles goes from here. Great job, Miles. Okay, next group that I need up here is Aton, Truman, Addison Dennis, Jameson, and Rhea. Come on. All right, so I am going to start with Mr. Aton. And Aton, I'm going to start by saying, loves breaststroke. Just kidding. Just kidding. Aton really likes backstroke, though. He's a backstroker. Super fun to have in the pool. Lots of personality. Always making me laugh. He's a great kid to have on the team. Also is very good at
kind of pushing other people in practice to go faster, especially on a high quality day. That's challenging enough, right? He did drop lots of time this year. He was part of our state team again this year. He was part of our boys freestyle relay. That podium did got third place, which is awesome. And next season, I'm going to look him to be a really big leader in the ABSC group. So that is a
I'm talking about Truman Newmeyer. Truman has really improved his practice endurance and how he pushed himself in practice this season. He's worked really hard to master his flip turns, and he's worked really hard to make faster and more challenging intervals. He moved up quite a few lanes in our sets where he was doing the fastest interval that we had offered, and he was really proud of himself that first time that he made that set, and we were too. Truman loves to swim breaststroke, and I can't wait to see him improve even more as he grows along in AGT. Congrats, Truman.
Okay.
Do we need another second to panic over the balloon, or are we good?
It's fine. Just go, Coach Margaret.
Well, I'm more talking to the children. Yeah. Let's be quiet. Okay. So, first person I'm going to talk about is Addie Dennis. I have had the joy of getting to coach Addie for 2 seasons now. And Addie, I always say that she is another one of my little Energizer bunnies. You wind her up and you send her off to race, and she's just spinning her wheels, going as fast as she can. I love watching her race. I love watching her even more though surprise herself. I love when she gets up to race and she's like, well, I'm not sure if I can do that 50 or that 100. And then she goes and achieves it and surprises herself each time. Addie does multiple sports, but she still finds time to come to some practice to give it her best effort. And I just appreciate all of the work and the time that she puts into swimming. So great job this season, Addie. My next friend that I'm going to talk about is Jameson. So Jameson was a great addition to our program this season. He is my youngest friend and novice, and to talk about how much he has improved, I don't even know where I could begin. I feel like at the beginning of the season, we had a hard time even doing an hour-long practice. And by the end of the season, he was like, what do you mean we're going home? Why are we leaving? So he grew so much in his technique, he grew so much in his endurance. He went from being upset about being disqualified in races and attacking the next race and saying, no way, I'm not going to make that same mistake again. So I'm really proud of Jameson's ownership of swimming, especially in such a young athlete. And I'm excited to see what else he's got in him for upcoming seasons. So great job, Jameson. And lastly, I have Rhea. Rhea is overall just such a solid athlete. You can throw any set at her, you can have her swim any stroke, and she'll say, yeah, no problem, I can do that for you, Coach Margaret. And she does it with a smile on her face, and she is such a hard worker. And she is headed up to AGT next year, and I can only imagine the growth she's going to have and the goals she's going to achieve, because Rhea can set her mind to anything and she will achieve it. And I watched her grow so much over the years that I just know she can achieve anything. So good luck in AGT, Rhea.
Yeah, let's do the raffle. We're having a little balloon crisis right now. We're gonna do another raffle. So, hey, everybody, in case you want to see if you're gonna win this raffle.
wanna make sure. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna start by talking about Mr. Will. He is another all-around swimmer. He had a great season, lots and lots of time drops. Really fun to have in practice. He's always smiling, always in a good mood. He and Owen Patterson are always giving balls at the end of the lane, so they had a good time. He was a big part of our state team. He also podiumed in the 50 breaststroke. He got 6th place, and also part of our 10 boys winning 2 ladies that both got third. I think we get third. Yeah, both of them got third. So he was a huge addition to our state team this year. So I'm super excited what Will can do next year and see if we can even get better and better for next season. So that is Will.
Yeah. I could bring it around, so between them.
All right, I got my man Connor. And Connor, he has a stellar freestyle. This is his first year swimming and his first time swimming the 50 freestyle, he went like a 36. So that was phenomenal, that was really fast, really good job, Connor. Unfortunately, he is leaving this summer to play some baseball, so he will be missed, but that just goes to show you what a great athlete Connor is. It was really awesome to see you in the room, Connor, and we just hope that you had a really good time swimming with us. All right, my first friend I'm going to talk about is Arush. I feel like Arush totally had a breakout season. He's another one who overcame a lot of his fears, finally got his dive off lockdown, and I feel like once he nailed that, it opened so many doors for him as a swimmer. And I think he's another one of my friends who truly surprised himself this season. He would look up at the clock after 50 breaststroke and he was like, oh wow, did I really go that fast? I'm like, well, yeah, you did. It was pretty great. So I think so many things truly came together for Arush this season between his flip turns and his dives, his endurance, his overall stroke technique. He put so much hard work in and it was really amazing to watch it all pay off. So great job this season, Arush, and I will miss you as you go off to AGT. My next friend I'm going to talk about is Addie Seymour. Addie brings an amazing energy to practice. You know, she is such a strong leader and she is paving the way for so many of our younger athletes to say, like, if you put the hard work in, if you come here with a great attitude, there is no limit to what you can do to succeed. And Addie is constantly doing all she can to be the best athlete she can be. And I am so proud of everything she has accomplished this season. And I'm so excited for her to be heading up to AG this next season. So great job, and I will miss you, Addie. And lastly, I'm going to talk about Claire England. Claire is not here with us tonight. However, Claire England is no stranger to many of you because she is got a great energy that she brings to practice every day. She's not afraid to talk to a single person, and she is so positive in the world of swimming. And I think that our novice friends are truly going to miss having her in practice, having that energy, having that drive of like, all right, getting a relay together, saying it's time to race. We're going to do this. Pedal to the metal. She has such a drive that she spreads to everybody else, and I am hoping that some of my kids can fill her shoes and fill her leadership role because she's off to AGT and she's going to be such a great asset to that group, pushing all of the swimmers to be the best swimmers they can be. So great job this season, Claire.
Thank you. Okay, the next group I'm going to ask to come up is Josie, Lanting, Archer, Maya, and Paige. Come on down. Right here. quiet killer. Because she's very quiet, but when she gets in the pool and she gets to racing, she will take you down. Okay, so she's like I said, quiet killer. So she's very hardworking, very on top of things, to make sure she knows when to go and what interval we're on. And it's really great. She's a really good lane leader, which is awesome. And she got her first state cut this season. Went to the state meet for the first time. Super excited. And I'm excited to also see what she can do next season. And she is also going to be one of those swimmers that I look to be a big leader in the AG2 group, and that is Josie.
I'm talking about Lansing, and Lansing is the most positive and funny kid I've ever met. He is hilarious, and I will really miss him. He's moving up to AG next season, but he worked his tail off this season. He worked really hard in stats. He improved all of his strokes. And he was really, really pushing himself to race the other people in his lanes, and all that hard work really paid off. I will miss you in AG2, but I can't wait to see what you accomplish in AG. Congratulations, Lansing.
All right, first person I'm going to talk about is Archer. Archer, kind of similar to like what Chris was just saying, Archer's probably one of the funnier people I've ever met in my life. He is always bringing a lighthearted attitude to practice, always trying to make everybody laugh. And I have been super excited to actually watch Archer invest in the sport over time. I think at the beginning of the season, he felt very frustrated, and he finally got to a point where he was like, Coach Robert, what can I do to get better? What can I be doing so that I'm not getting disqualified? He put the work in so that he could achieve the goals he wanted. So I think that's a really special moment for any swimmer to watch them have that moment where they invest in the sport. They say, if I'm going to get better at this, I got to take matters in my own hands. So I'm really proud of Archer for doing that this season, and I think sky's the limit for what he can do next. So great job, Archer. Okay, next I have Maya. Very sweet Maya. Maya, I have had the pleasure of coaching Maya for I think 2 or 3 seasons now, and Maya has become such a leader in our group. If I ever needed anything, I could turn to Maya and I could say, hey, could you lead this set for this group of people, or could you watch the clock and help us get through this set? And she was willing to do it, no questions asked, and always enjoyed the opportunity to be able to rise to the plate and be a leader in our group. And I think that's something I'm going to truly miss in this upcoming season. She's pushed herself and surprised herself with many of her times this season. You know, finally going 39 or 53 was huge, and I am just so excited to see what she does next when she goes to AGT. So great job, Maya. And lastly, in this group of 5 is my friend Paige. Paige has had such amazing growth, not even just this season, but just in the years that we've had her in novice. She is another friend that I have been super excited to watch them invest in their swimming. For her to say, for her to really start to get a bit of a competitive edge this season. For her to be like, I'm going to be that girl next to me, and how can I do it? What's the plan? What are we going to do? And I love watching that in the kids, watching their competitiveness come out, because that's what makes this sport so fun, is looking at the person next to you and saying, I'm not going to let you beat me. And I enjoy watching that side of her personality come out this season. And now that we've lit that fire in her, I'm just so excited to watch her grow even more so that we can have that fire in us at every practice, building our endurance so it continues to carry over for Paige and Beats. So I'm excited to see what she does next.
Girls, are we doing a?
Yeah, we're doing it right now.
Do we grab the mini?
Abigail H. Abigail H. Oh, yeah.
All right, I need David, Maddie Christensen, sorry, just one sec. Roman, Eloise, Highness, and then that's it.
No, Kobe's in the next group.
Okay. Awesome. So I'm gonna get started talking about David. David has only been swimming a year, not even a year. He started in June, I want to say. And in just a year's time, he qualified for 3 state cups. He qualified for the 50 fly, the 50 free, and then the 50 breaststroke as well. And it was one of those things where we knew that David was focused and he was a committed athlete and he worked hard and gave it his all whenever he had a chance. And we just knew that it was a moment of time before things would start clicking, and sure enough, at the end of the season, it was one after another. He just kept getting the cut. He had a phenomenal state meet. He was on both of the relays, got placed third. He got 2 fancy medals, and he's also going to move up to AG to train with Coach Mike next season. So congratulations, David. Next up is Maddie. Maddie is just a bundle of joy, and she always wants to know what she can do better. She would always come up to me and be like, "Hey, I really want to go at 38 and 50 backstroke. How can I get there? What can you do? What can I do to improve my stroke, to improve my technique, to go faster, to kick faster, to have a better flip turn?" Like, it was like one thing after another, like 50 questions from this girl. And although she didn't get her state cut in the 50 backstroke this year, there's not a doubt in my mind that when she trains with Coach Mike and AG, that she will get that next season. So Maddie, just continue up the great work, continue to work hard, and continue to ask those questions.
All right, my next one I'm going to talk about is Bronwyn, or as we like to call her, BB. It's quite the attack novice. I got a BB, I got a CC, and I have a BB. It's quite a lot to keep track of, but they're a fun group of gals. So, BB joined the team over this past summer, and I think coming on during a summer season, it can be challenging because that season is short. So I feel that this fall and winter season did so much for BB as a swimmer. She was able to build her endurance, work on her different stroke techniques, and truly improve all around as a swimmer. She's another one of my swimmers who is always up for anything, and she is solid in all 4 of her strokes. And so as we continue to build her endurance, I'm just so excited to continue to watch her times drop, to watch her surprise herself, and to have that competitive edge come out of her. So great job this season, BB. My next friend I'm going to talk about is Eloise. Eloise, I don't even know where to start with her growth in just the 2 seasons that I worked with her. She has gone from being a friend in novice 2 over in lane 6 to heading all the way over to lane 1, training with some of our best swimmers in the group. And similar to what Annie was saying about her sister Josie, I kind of think this is like a history thing that, like, she is also a silent killer. You know, she walks up behind the block, happy as ever it can be, but as soon as she dives in the water, you can bet she's not going to let you beat her. She's going to swim as fast as she can and get to the wall first. And so I love watching her race. I love watching her invest in the sport and come into her own. And I know this next season, she's going to continue to work on all the things to make herself a better athlete. And she's just going to continue to grow more and more. So great job this season, Eloise. Last in this group for me is Inez. Inez was such a great addition to the team this season. She overcame so many of her fears. She came to practice with a great energy every day. And she also, as a new swimmer, not everyone is always willing to do this, if she wasn't sure what we were doing, she was like, wait, are we gonna do this, and then are we gonna do this, because she didn't want to miss a beat, and I think that just goes to talk about her strong work ethic, and always wanting to get better, and always wanting to make sure she was doing everything she could to be the best swimmer she could be, so I'm excited to watch Anais continue to grow in upcoming seasons. Great job, Anais.
We're gonna do our 8th and final group, and then we'll do 2 raffles after that. So group 8 is Cody and Cooper and Taylor. Alright, we're starting off with Cody. Cody, I have seen such tremendous growth in you this season, from pushing yourself in practice, really working on turns, really working on flip turns and open turns, and working on every single stroke. We're still working on mastering the breaststroke kick, but once we get that down, he's gonna have a killer ride on. He is really strong and loves to swim butterfly. His backstroke is great and really loves to race in freestyle. He's been pushing himself with his lane mates and really wants to get better and is really working super hard, so I'm excited to see how next season goes. Congratulations, Cody.
All right, I'm gonna talk about Cooper first. This is my second season getting to coach Cooper, and I don't think there's a practice that goes by that Cooper doesn't make me laugh. Cooper, like, either says something that you're like, wait, what did you say? Or he's always like, what are we doing? And he just brings such a smile to my face, and I love so much his love for swimming and love for the water. He is always looking for a time where we can race, or we can be going on blocks, or racing each other at practice, and he just has such a great energy, and he's really come a long way in these last 2 seasons. I think as he continues to stick with the sport, he's gonna improve on his techniques and build his endurance, and things are just gonna keep getting better and better as we go. So great job, Cooper. My last swimmer of the night is Taylor. Taylor, this is also her second season with me, and I have been so blown away by her improvements this season. This is only her second season on the team, and she snuck into the A+ meet for her 50 backstroke time, and I think she was so proud and so surprised with herself, and I was so proud of her as well. I have an ongoing joke with Taylor that anytime we swim, she's got to put her crazy legs on, and she's got the fastest kick for freestyle and for backstroke that I have seen an 8-year-old in a long time. So I am super excited for all Taylor has already accomplished, and I'm super looking forward to Taylor being a leader in these upcoming seasons and to keep using those crazy legs. All right, great job, Taylor. Archer. Instrument. Archer, it's your turn. Go get your. Archer, over here. Now that I get to. Yay.
You just, all the parents want to thank you for all your hard work. Kristen.
Alright, you guys actually were really good listeners. I had that really good.
Oh, we should do this every year.
This is a little less crazy than normal. So we want to thank everybody for coming. Congratulate you on a great season. We're really looking forward to having all of you guys back. And in our groups as we move on into law enforcement summer. I don't know, Brent, did you want to say anything, or did you?
Not today, Mike.
Okay. Okay, sounds good. So we are done for a little while until.
Stay in their seats until their parents come and we'll come around and collect garbage.
Okay, so you guys are supposed to stay in the seats until your parents get here and they're gonna walk around and collect stuff. Hopefully you've been very neat and clean.
You guys, I will say, you guys are super awesome. I'm looking at all these certificates and whatnot, and listening to what the coaches said you guys did this year. Well done. Super proud of you guys. You are all fantastic. Except, you're all.
I think there's another session after that. You were here later, you could ask.
Right. First off, it's great to see everybody here. Glad we were able to put something like this together. I think we all feel kind of bad that it's not the normal, the usual one where we have mirrors and everything here, but it is kind of nice to work out with part of the crowd. So it's just like the whole season has been, it's been a new learning experience. So, first off, for people that are new or coming into the banquet for the second part here, I want to say some thank yous. Just for sure, we want to thank everybody's parents because this has been a difficult season with a lot of transportation and not being able to watch the feeds and things like that. But parents have really been good about getting kids places, and we've been very fortunate to be able to have a season and to have a successful season as we have. So on that line too, thank the coaching staff, those hopefully made everything pretty good for you guys. You go ahead. All right. Let's see. And thank nobody's here to appreciate it, but also to thank the Elmhurst School District and Wisconsin Swimming. There are states where teams have been shut down for an entire year, and they haven't had any meets, they haven't had any practices, entire states like that. And we've been very fortunate for people figuring out how we were going to do it and getting it done safely. And also thank you guys for doing a good job at most of the time, at being pretty safe and keeping your distance and not having any COVID related issues resulting from practice. The one or two of you guys have had, I don't know, Johnson family seems to be quarantined a lot. But anyway, so we're gonna kind of alternate it around where we're gonna bring up about 5 of you at a time, and give you some certificates. Okay, so certificates that they're from IM specific needs, IMX or just IM ready needs, so it's kind of a ranking. A lot of what the certificate is, depending on what meets you were in and what events you swam in those meets, so the IM Extreme certificate is, has a little bit more aggressive set of events, 500s, maybe 200s of strokes and stuff. That's about it. So I'm going to start off by giving it over to Annie here.
Okay, so like Coach Rose said, we are going to have about 5 of you come up at a time. Please, when you come up, when you hear your name, make sure your mask is on, your skates out, okay? And we'll get started with our first pot. So I have Blair and Eric, and Harper, and Sam Morgan, and Michael Foster, all come up to the front. And also, we're going to talk about all 5 people, and then after we talk about all 5, then we can do our applause. Okay? So, I'm going to start with Claire. To start. And Claire is a fun, bubbly, super friendly teammate, and makes practice really, really fun. Just like I said about brother earlier, she's always smiling, always having a good time at practice. She also, I'm hoping, at night she dreams about streamlines, because I think I have to remind Claire about her streamlines too many times. But what she did really towards the end of the season was she got her first state cut, and she was part of our state team for the first time, so that was really super exciting. So Claire had a really great season, and I'm really looking forward to what she's doing next season. So that's Claire. The next person I'm going to talk about is Harper. study, especially during high quality. She would really go fast in her freestyle and also at meets, she was ready to race every time we had a swim. Next year, I'm hoping, or not next year, next season, excuse me, I'm hoping that she'll open up a little bit more and keeping up her great swims and becoming more of a leader on our EBSC team. So that's Harper. And now Coach Rose is going to talk about Eric and Sam.
Yeah, so I get to talk about Eric and Sam, which is quite a privilege. Eric has done very well, kind of grown into this. Getting to be a big guy now. And, he kind of had what I would call breakout season, both from the standpoint of big time improvements during the course of the season, as well as he became really fast workout swimmer and has developed really well in several strokes. At state, he had a full list of events that were qualified, and he made 3 trips to the podium with 6th place finish in the 200 IM. He was 7th in the 100 fly and 8th in the 200 fly. And we're excited for it. He's got one more full season as an age group swimmer because he's still very young. So we will definitely look forward to seeing more of it. Sam Bergen was 3rd place high point at the 10 and under boys state meet. And he was a state champion in the 50, 100 breaths, 50 breaths, 100 breaths, and 500 freestyle. He made 6 trips to the podium, so he made the top 8, actually I think maybe the top 3 or 4 in every event that he was in. He did an interesting thing at me that, normally we're always telling kids not to play games on their phones and pay attention when their teammates are in water. Sam introduced chess to the waiting for your events at the state meet, and I think we had some brutal chess games and a lot of kids standing around watching chess, and it was really awesome to see everybody not connected to their phone. It was really quite cool. So Sam just turned 11, so he has several more seasons in AG, and we're going to look forward to a lot of good stuff.
Hi everyone, I'm talking about Michael Foster. A lot of things came together for Michael this season. It's been really great to see him improve in all of his strokes. Really paying attention to technique and wanting to improve his strokes to get faster. Really pushing himself in sets this season in our fastest interval and making them and really challenging other teammates around him. This coming season will be Michael's season, last season as a 12 and under. He'll be turning 13 for the fall season. So I'm really excited to see what he'll accomplish in his last season with us in AGT. Congrats on a great season, Michael.
Okay, so our next group that we would like to come up is going to be Aggie, Melody, Caroline, Owen, and Amelia. Come on down. Okay. So I am going to start off with Owen. And I'll tell you, Owen always keeps me on my toes at practice. He grew a lot this season, which is awesome. He's still learning, still growing, but he went crazy at the end of the season. They got a bunch of new state cuts at the end of the season, which was awesome to see. So his hard work really paid off at the end of the season. He wants to learn more. He really talks to you and listens to what you have to say. Now you just have to translate that into the water sometimes. I think he gets really excited to race, and sometimes that stuff kind of goes out of his head. But we're going to keep working on it, and also Owen is going to be moving up to AG1 with Coach Rose. So I'm really excited to see what he does next season. And then Coach Rose is going to talk about the other AGs up in front.
and identified them as quiet killers. I would identify Amy as a quiet killer. She's great in relay, she's great at, in all the events that she does. It was interesting, very few people, usually your first event that you qualify for state is, in a particular age group would be like a 53 or a 50 back, and she did it in the 200 butterfly, which I think was pretty impressive. And she got 8th place in state in the 200 butterfly, so she was made 28. She's still 11, so she'll be around for a long time at AG. Yeah, she's super hard worker and developed really well with stroke. So, hey. Next, LFE. Sorry. I don't know why that LFE stuck, but that's just always what I call her, I guess. Bella made the state meeting at the last possible moment, which is Brigham family tradition. So made it the very last minute due to time trial. And so we're hoping we're going to be better than that for the next season. Although we've already got them out of the way. So. Bella's again a super hard worker, very entertaining and fun person to have in practice. She's a loud killer, not a quiet killer. But works really hard. Just a great person to have on the team because they keep it totally fun. And then Caroline. So Caroline, kind of the end of an era at AG, since she's the I think we've had for at least the last 8 years, maybe 9 years, Londa's active in the group. So Caroline will be moving on into senior 3, where I think she's already got several 13, 14 state cuts, which is really good. That's a hard transition to make. That 12-year-old to 13-year-old, because there's a lot of growth that goes on between those age groups. At state, she made 6 trips to the podium, all for 2nd or 3rd places. Got a bunch of best times. Let's see, she was 2nd in the 50 fly, the 200 IM, 200 breaststroke, and then 3rd in the 100 breaststroke, 100 IM, 50 breaststroke. To make her two really bright places will be butterfly and IM. Although I'm not sure she wants to go butterfly yet. But anyway, she'll be moving on to senior 3, and excited to see what she does. I think that's it. Who else?
You don't have to,
Oh,
I have.
okay. Sorry. Thanks.
All right, I have the honor to talk about Miss Amelia Kelly. I will never forget the first time I saw Amelia swim. It was both myself and then Michael, who's on the senior team here at Elmbrook, who was helping me out, and we were both blown away with how awesome her freestyle technique was. Like, she had beautiful high elbows, she caught the water perfectly, and she was so efficient in the water. So just having that first impression of Amelia was very impressive. And she actually, because of how efficient she is, she was our only girl in ADT to swim the 500 freestyle. And she did so with no goggles. Her goggles came off on the first 25. But she fascinating. That just speaks volumes to her character and her work ethic and everything. Yes, we just saw really a lot of improvement with her with all 4 strokes, and I'm excited to work with her again in the summer.
Okay, we're gonna do a raffle. So a little bit different this year. So there is something called a game this year. It looks like our first prize is a new backpack. Pretty cool. So let's see the first prize. Aaron H. Aaron! This backpack was donated by Alice Moore. So congratulations, Aaron. Alright, how my day was, so that's really nice, and makes my day a little bit better, so thanks, Molly. She's very coachable, she, always takes into account what you have to say, always listening to feedback and adding that to her swings. She thinks about the little things, I like to say, so those little things like not reading off her turns and streamlining really well, holding her breaststroke pullouts to really stretch those out. So those are great things, and I like to kind of point those out because sometimes those little things don't get recognized in your swimmer. Those little things kind of make a big difference. Also, she's a really great leader, and I'm really excited to see what she can do next season and continue to improve in her swimming. So that's Molly, and I'm going to have Coach Rose talk about the other ATs up there.
All right. So first up, we have Brady. Very popular. Yeah. Let's see. So Brady's been on several state teams. Unfortunately, he has a poorly placed birthday. So he, but he, so he aged up just before, not too long before the state meet. So, and that is, that's a tough transition, and that 12-year-old to 13-year-old, for the boys especially, because the times just drop really fast. But he definitely worked hard this season. He worked hard and played hard. He definitely is entertaining in practice. But so he's making that transition to 13, 14, and he'll be moving in with the senior free group, where I'm sure that Stillman is going to work very hard. And gets you going on all those streamlines and keep you in that extra push. Then we have Jade. Jade, you're supposed to hold your applause. Jade is another one, not a quiet killer, because Jade's not super quiet. I'm supposed to say that she's always the last one in the pool when we start practice. I'm not sure. They say maybe sore. But Jade will do some crazy events. We did the Valentine's meet at Pleasant Prairie, and she was in 1,000, 400 IM, 200 breaststroke. The mile. 500? No, not 500. 200 breaststroke, 200 back. So she did all these super long events. Which was cool. She did great at them. She has a full set of qualified events. She made the podium in the 200 breaststroke with an 8th place finish. But I think that we're going to see lots of really good things from her as she ages to the group. She's still 11, so we have her for a while, and really looking forward to seeing what she can do. And then finally, Molly is the last one I have. So Molly also very focused this year. Really worked hard on her backstroke and her underwaters. So if you watch Molly's backstroke, her underwaters are great. She gets out, starting to look like you see when you see swimmers at the Olympics and stuff. Where they get good long distance out of the water and come up first. That's the kind of thing that Molly's been doing. And she was able to get a full list of events for the state meet. So she's really developed well as a stroke swimmer. She's not really a big freestyle fan, but she has all the other strokes going. And she works hard, and especially with those underwaters, and we're going to see some great things from her. Take this. Yeah.
I'm talking about Charlotte. Charlotte has worked really hard this season and really coming to her own. She's a really strong butterflyer, and I really wish that she could swim breaststroke with butterfly kick, because she would also be really fast with that. She's really come along in all 4 of the strokes, so she's been working really hard. Even in the off 2 weeks here, she's been going to elite and swimming on her own. She's just really excited for the long course season to come up. I have a lot of kids that are gonna be turning 13 in the fall, so Charlotte is one of them. This is her last season with us in APT, and I'm really excited to see her really grow and be ready for that senior program at the end of the summer. Congratulations on all your hard work, Charlotte.
Okay, we are moving on to our next group, which is going to be Josh. Maddie. Natalie, Sadie, and Mila. Come on up. So, Coach Garland will have you take it away. And stay a while.
All right. Let's see. So we have some other words here for Josh. Josh had a really great season. As you can tell, he's a very popular team member. He certainly does have an interesting approach to everything, which makes him fun. But Josh trained hard all season, became super competitive during the course of the season. He ended up as the third place high point for the 11 and 12 boys at the state meet, and was really the highest team scorer on our, I guess I forgot to mention that earlier, on our state championship 11 and 12 boys team. This group of guys, that 11 and 12 boys now, probably have five state championships in a row, something like that. 4? Okay. Because they were state champions a few times, a couple times as 10 and unders, and just kind of continued it on. So we have been deep power team that stated in this group of boys. Josh is the state champion in, let's see. So he was the state champion in the 200 breaststroke, 200 IM. He set team records in the 100 and 200 IM and the 200 breaststroke. He gave the podium with second place finishes in state in the 100 breast, 100 IM, 200 back, and 50 breast. So great swims. I'm not sure what the ages of the other guys are. Each of them.
Boys.
I'm indicating that you should not. Okay. Thank you. Okay, so anyway, Josh has got another season here yet as an age grouper, so we're really looking forward to seeing what he does at the state meet in the summer. Next is Maddie, who also had a great state meet, and we had a few swimmers who really took on the long and challenging events, and Maddie had certainly one of the longest lists of events. So he made the podium in the 100. I have 100 and 100 freestyle. So
1,000.
I know what 1,000, right? Okay, so maybe that's 100,000. Oh yes, yeah. 100 freestyle, 1,000. Just 1,000, right? 1,000, 400 IM, 200 fly. Is there another one that I screwed up? Okay. I'm sorry about that. That was like, read my own thing. Okay, and Danny has one more season in AG, which again, we're really looking forward. He's had some huge time drops, he's swum some tough events. Between these guys, even Josh and Sam, all on the same side of the pool, they push each other all the time, and right now it's really hard sets, which has really resulted in their development. Natalie made the state team towards the end of the season, where she got a 50 back cut. Natalie brings a lot of energy to practice. Very positive attitude. She likes to stay after work on things, which is good, or maybe just talk. she talks a little at practice. Right, Natalie? Natalie talks a lot. But she works hard, and she's working on developing some better techniques. We're working on getting longer streamlines and more distance off the ball, which is kind of a theme in our game. And she's just 11, so we're gonna have her for a few more seasons. And then Sadie, who's been part of our 12 and under state team. But she's another one with kind of an unfortunate birthday and aged up right before the state game. So she's making that transition to 13, 14 and moving to senior 3 for long course. Where hopefully she'll continue to develop her backstroke and her best stroke, which is butterfly, right? She doesn't necessarily always like to practice it, but that is definitely her main thing. We will miss her in HE.
All right, and then I have Mila, and Mila has so much energy, y'all. It's crazy. I'm a nurse, so the times that I do go to practice, I usually start my day about waking up at 4:45 in the morning to get to work at 7, and then to end at like 3:30 to come to practice. So I'm drained by the time I get to practice, but Mila has a way of just bringing my energy out with her energy. She's very loud, very rambunctious, but she's a very hard worker and she gets the work done, which is also very fun. She's a great teammate, and she does have her eyes set on some 11 and 12 state cuts, especially in the 50 backstroke. And with her work ethic, there's not a doubt in my mind that she can get on to this next season. So good job, Mila. Thank you for everything.
Okay, we're gonna do another raffle. Names and names, yes, sure. Kind of have you quiet who wins the raffle. So, cross your fingers. HB. All right, excellent. So we're going to move on to the next group. And the next group is going to be Evan, Hannah, JP. I don't think he's here, but we're going to talk about it anyway. And Alana, and come on down. All right. Kate, you won the raffle, but you're not yet. No worries. You're making us experience. All right, so I'm going to talk about JP. I know he's not here, but I'm going to talk about him anyway. So JP is always super positive. He really is a good lane leader. He works really hard. He was really super close to a state cut this season. He went for it at that last time trial, and he unfortunately missed it by just a little bit. So, but next season I know he's going to blow by that state cut, and we're going to definitely get that one in more next season. He's another, like I said, another great leader on the team, and I'm going to be looking towards to him to be more of a leader in our ABSC group this upcoming season. So that's JP, and I'm going to have Coach Rose talk about our other ABs up at the front.
All right. Let's see. So first up here is Evan. Evan's had really consistent growth in all his strokes. He works hard. He focuses on what he's doing. He thinks about details, and because of that, he has some really nice strokes. He got Yeah, pretty close to qualifying for state in the 200 breaststroke, and I think as we go through the summer, we're probably gonna see start moving into, several events for state best, I hope. And because he's just 11, we're gonna have him around the AG team for quite a while, so I anticipate that he's gonna do very well and really get into a bunch of events for state. Like I said, his strokes, watch him swim, the strokes are great, his mechanics are great, he does a really good job working on nice streamlines coming off his turns and stuff, which is excellent for us. Then I got Hannah. Hannah also had she had a great season and developed other strokes, like she started as primarily a breaststroker, in early age group and has moved out into, she became quite a butterflyer and into IM, and then just suddenly had some big time drops in breaststroke. So she had a full list of events qualified for state. She was able to make the podium in the 200 fly and 200 breaststroke. She has one more season with us as an age grouper, so we're really looking forward to some good things there.
Alright, first AGT star I'm talking about is Alana. Alana had significant improvement this season in her practice performance. She really has been pushing herself and watching teammates and really challenging herself to race them and keep up with them. She has posted some really fast time drops this season compared to her seasons past. So that was super awesome as well. I really look forward to watching Alana grow as a swimmer and growing to being a leader in our AGT group this next summer season. Great job this season, Alana. The second swimmer I'm talking about is Mateo. Mateo unfortunately had to miss part of the season due to a wrist injury, but he came back strong and really mastered the breaststroke kick. This is like his second season. He came on in the summer, right? Summer and fall? Summer and the winter? Yeah, okay. Second season in AGT, and he's really grown as a swimmer. It's been great to watch him grow and really start to push himself in swim practice. He's another one of those kids that I have that's going to be turning 13 in the next season. So this is his last season as a 12&U with us. I can't wait to see him, watch him grow as he prepares to go into the senior program. Nice job, Mateo.
All right, next group, join us up front is Logan, Luke D, Sam Schultz, Jonathan, and Lucas. I haven't seen Lucas, but we're going to talk about Lucas, right? Okay, so, Coach Rose is going to take it away here. I don't have it tonight. I don't know.
All right, cool, good. Okay, so first up here is Logan. Logan actually had a great state meet. I think he had kind of a frustrating season because he hadn't really had many best times. And he was kind of struggling with those best times, but he had some awesome swims at the state meet, especially on relays, which is always great to see. We love to see kids that go really fast on relays. So he was part of our 2 state championship boys relays. So he's, like I said, he's a great racer. He puts forth his best effort in relays. Boy, I feel like you've been at AG forever. You've been here for a long time. He's got one more season with us in age group, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how he does. He has worked hard, and like I said, it was great to see a really good state meet. Luke D. Luke had a great state meet also. He made it to the podium 5 times. In the 50, 100, 200 breaststroke, 100, and 200 IM. Honestly, think maybe his best event coming up will be backstroke. He's really developed also backstroker. He's another one, kind of an unfortunate birthday for swimming because he turns 13 like a week before the summer state meet. So, hopefully by the time that comes around, we will have him have at least one 13 and over state cup, which would be awesome. Again, that's a hard jump to make into people having state cups, but I think he's certainly got the talent to do it. And then Sam. Sam, like Annie, Sam did kind of the Ironman events at the state meet and had a really, really good, just a great state meet. He made the podium in 5 events with second place finishes in the 200 fly, 500 free, 400 IM, and thirds in the 200 free and the 1,000 free. He's a focused trainer. And like I said, with he and Josh and Andy, they pretty much race almost every set that we do. And I think that's been really good for all 3 of them, in terms of really developing pretty fast. So he's, so we should we'll have Sam for a little while again, because he doesn't I think he turned 13 in January. So we have you for the full summer season as an age group. Looking forward to what he can do with the team.
And lastly, we have Mr. Jonathan Bonus. Jonathan is by far the most polite person I have ever met. At the end of every practice, he makes it a point to come up to myself or Coach Carissa and tell us thank you. And like, just have a good night, how are you, when he walks in on the pool deck. So just a very polite young man. And unfortunately, his season, we did have an injury towards the end of the season, but with his last season in February, we did see great time improvements. So Jonathan, we're just looking forward to see you improve this next summer season, and to continue to work hard and practice with yourself in practice. Good season. Good job.
Okay, we're gonna do another raffle. Another raffle. Mateo. Alright, congratulations, Mateo. Okay, next group we have 2 more groups to talk about. So the next group that's going to come up here is Benji, Dave, Tyler, Amy, and Shabbat. Okay, so I'm going to start off here, and I'm going to talk about Maeve first. Maeve, just like her buddy Claire, is always fun and bubbly and always happy at practice, trying to work hard. And she is a very hard worker. She was really doing a good job being a lane leader this past season and really working on the little things, like I said about Molly, who's also one of those 3 girls are always together in our AG2 group. Maeve is going to keep in her head for next season that she's going to not breathe off her walls, right? And she was so close to state this season. It was pretty incredible to watch her drop as much time as she did in 50 breaststroke. And like I said, she did just barely missed it. But Coach Rose and I are super confident that she's going to get that cut and more in this next coming season. And again, she is going to go to AG1 with Coach Rose, and makes me a little sad, but I'll see her around. That's May. And Coach Rose is going to talk about the rest of the AGs from the.
Okay, first up is Benji. Unfortunately, Benji will be turning 13, so he will be moving
going to senior 3 also, where, again, we'll look forward to some pretty good development there. Then she's made voting for this year's state meet, the 50 and 200 breaststrokes. But he's been in the top 8 several times in those breaststroke events. And he's kind of started to expand out a little bit with the 400 IM and hopefully, 200 IM and some of the other stuff flying and things will come along. He's a consistently hard worker, really working on developing those other strokes along with his breaststroke. We will miss him in senior 3, but we will we'll look forward to seeing him do very well. Let's see, next is Tyler. Tyler was kind of a new man this year. He, I think over the summer he kind of struggled and wasn't putting together a lot of really good times, but he worked super hard this season and kind of moved up to being one of the fastest in the pool and being a real leader in practices. He was very focused on his events and thinks about what he's doing. He was able to make the podium at the state meet in the 100 and 200 breaststroke and 400 IM. He's another one that will swim 1,000 and 500 and, the long events. So he has one more season here with us in AG, and definitely looking forward to seeing what he does there.
We have 2 more. I'm talking about Shivani. Shivani had her first season on Albert this year. She's very hardworking and eager to improve, very coachable, always willing to try a technique or a tip that we give her. She has improved all 4 of her strokes, and the significant improvement in endurance has been incredible to watch. Really grows your confidence in practice and at meets. We're looking forward to watching Shivani grow more as she continues in AGT this next season. And Erica's going to talk about Paige.
All right, so when I look at Paige, I see an overcomer. There's a lot of things that made her nervous and that made her stressed through the season, but she did, in the end, overcome those fears, and she rose to the occasion, and she did it. There's actually a Bible verse that says, rise up, take courage, and do it, and when I see Paige, I think of that verse, because she did. She rose up to the occasion. She took the courage that she needed to have to do the things she set out to do, and she did it. She accomplished it, and she did it well. She did it with great technique, and Paige, you should be very proud of yourself. One of the things that Chris and I want to continue to see from you is just to find yourself getting more comfortable in those uncomfortable situations, because when you can do that, then you will continue to overcome and accomplish great things. So congratulations.
Okay, we are on our last group here. So if I can have Elise, Denny, Luke Thomas, Emily, and Krista all come to the front of the room. Okay, boys, okay. Oh. All right, Coach Joe's gonna take over.
It's okay. Boys are very entertaining group. Have a good time together. Let's see. So first up here is Elise, who I think was a little frustrated with her birthday this year too, because she turned 11 2 weeks before the state meet and was coming in as a pretty dominant 10 and under swimmer. She has set club records in the 50, 100, 200, and 500 freestyle and 10 and under division. Some of those records going back, I think the longest one was 22 years. So she was coming in pretty fast, and I think it was a little intimidating aging up, but I know that as she moves on, as we continue to work and move on, I think that she's going to do some really great things. Got a ton of talent. we definitely need to work on those streamlines, not breathing on turns. Start working on getting underwater dolphin kicks going for backstroke and doing some of the things that you need to do as you get older. But she's gonna do some great stuff. Jenny, who is she was our newest addition. She came here at I think just after Christmas and for one with Toast Out. Maybe it was been here for a little while, but she moved right into the group and moved in with everybody. Gets along great. She works really hard. You know, she's one that'll stay after practice and keep working. Sorry, parents. I know that some of them were here 15 or 20 minutes after the other practice, but it's hard to get them on with them. So she was a great addition to our team. She was on the state team for the 1500 breaststroke and also got the 50 backstroke. She's still 11, so we will have her for a couple more seasons, and I think she's going to do some great things because she's really motivated to improve all those strokes. Last for me, not least here, Luke Thomas. Very popular guy, you can tell. Luke also had a great state meet, I think. Again, similar to a couple of the others, he had it was kind of a weird season and didn't really have a lot of best times. But Luke is one that really rises to racing and racing in big meets. So when he came out, every event that he had, he got out after really hard, and he had several best times, and super competitive, and said really likes to race. He's got one more season with us in AG, and I'm hoping that we really see a great season from him since he's really started out on a low with that this last game. That's okay.
I will be talking about Emily. Emily is kind and she's such a great teammate, always positive. She's very determined to have wonderful underwater. It's amazing to see. She's always working to get a tight streamline and tuck her head down and get really far off the wall with her dolphin kicks. So I'm looking forward to that improving as this next season comes along. She works very hard in practice, and I also think that we'll be seeing a lot from Emily being a lane leader and really pushing herself to see those time drops that she really wants to see. Great job this season, Emily. Coach Erica will be talking about her stuff.
So Krista is the busiest girl I have ever met. She is involved in gymnastics in addition to swimming. So she will literally go to gymnastics practice, and how long are those personally? 2 hours, 3 hours? Yeah, a 3-hour gymnastics practice, jump in the car, have a snack, and then come to swim practice. And she doesn't run out of energy. I don't understand how that happens, but she's just a natural athlete. She's great at gymnastics, she's great at swimming, she works hard. I don't have to dumb anything down for her. I can tell her how it is. I can talk to her like I'm talking to a senior level swimmer, and it just clicks, which is very amazing to see. I don't know, I talked to Coach Mike about maybe having his wife recruit her for diving, because she's good at gymnastics and swimming. So she's got a lot of options out there for her, and whatever she chooses, she's going to be really good at. Good job, Krista.
Josh, what did you come up? So we have, normally we have lots of plaques and stuff because everybody that is involved in the zone team and stuff gets a plaque for competition that goes beyond the state level. And, obviously this year in the summer, we really didn't have many meets, and there was no zone meet this summer, so we didn't have anybody for that. So we only have a couple of plaques. These are for team records. There is a little mistake here, so I will have to get these bits, but I'm going to give it to you anyway. So you get them. So anyway, Elise gets a plaque for setting team records for 10 and under girls in all the freestyle events, 1500, 200 free, and 500 free. records, 200 breaststroke, 100 IM, 400 IM. But they put Lisa's 500 free on here too, so. Yeah, that's it. So, okay, we have 2 more raffles to do, and then, yeah.
Molly W.
Yeah, Molly. Woo!
And the other Molly, Molly P.
Molly Crane. Molly Crane, you won a raffle. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. That's a distraction.
Okay, and last but not
Hamburger. Sorry.
least, kids, we want to thank these 4 coaches for all their time and effort. So let's give them a round of applause.
All right, I think that's it for us. I'd like to thank the members of the group that put this together. Again, it's a weird season. It was, these are tough things to put together. I think they did a great job with it. So why don't you give a hand for the committee? Give a hand for the committee. Boy. This is like a college quiz in town. All right, you guys have to stay where you are at. Do not move until things get cleaned up.
Yeah, and then if their parents are picking them up, they can.
Okay, if your parents are picking you up, you can go after your meetings.
Wait, so it's like,